Sometimes it feels like all the noise around us drowns out the smaller moments that quietly matter. This is 10 Better Minutes, a podcast sharing a handful of recent real stories that offer a steadier view of the world, not ignoring the challenges, but reminding us of the everyday kindness and quiet strength around us. Today's stories gently show how the world is made up of more than just what makes the biggest headlines. We will begin with a story about a woman who noticed a disabled airport worker having a hard time and helped share his story, sparking support that made a real difference. At John Wayne Airport, James Blair, a Navy veteran, worked as a fuel mechanic and tried to do his job even as his knees and legs made walking difficult. One day, Lucinda Thackeray spotted him limping from the tarmac toward his plane for a flight out of Los Angeles. She watched him steady himself, step by careful step, and she decided to record what she saw, then share it online. Thackeray posted the video to TikTok, and the response was quick. In the comments, someone recognized James and helped confirm who he was. That small thread of identification mattered because his boss saw it and drove about 90 minutes to reach him. Together, they set up a GoFundMe to support his retirement and cover the support needs tied to his elderly mother's hospice care. As donations poured in, the fundraiser reached about $180,000 from more than 6,000 donations. James said he used some of the money to buy a new bed, practical help that made life a little easier right away. He also shared that retirement still has not happened yet, but the pressure is lighter. What stands out most is how one ordinary act of noticing can grow into community care. A video became a bridge and strangers became neighbors, reminding James that he was not carrying the burden alone. There's something quietly powerful about routines that start small, especially when they invite other people in. In this story, a father in Georgia turns weekly library visits into a place where connection grows one book at a time. Kari Arnold began with a simple plan and a tender goal. After weekly trips with his 4-month-old daughter Araya, he began to notice how meaningful it felt to be there early, together, in the world of stories. He is a Georgia native, and over time that personal tradition became an invitation. Arnold founded the Library Dads, welcoming fathers in the community with children of any ages, not just babies. As word spread, other dads described how the events changed their outlook. Cassell Scott, father to 3-year-old Amale, said it was motivating and eye-opening to see other engaged fathers, showing up with the same intention to listen, read, and be present. Mr. Derek Lampkin shared that he has brought his sons, Dominique and Tristan, for the past year, and now he brings 7-month-old daughter Madeline Sophia too. The best part is that it remains open and accessible. The events are free, but they can fill up quickly in Atlanta libraries because people are looking for the same thing Arnold wanted from the beginning: time that strengthens both parenting and community. And maybe that is the real uplift here. When dads gather around books, everyone gets to practice belonging. Sometimes the most life-changing moments start in the simplest places, like a crowded bar and a conversation that will not let you go. In 2020, Mark Scotch, who was 64, met Hugh Smith, 56, in a Louisiana bar. They talked, and Mark learned that Hugh was spending about 10 hours every night on dialysis and believed a transplant was the only thing that could truly change his life. Mark did not wait around for the world to catch up. He offered to donate a kidney on the spot. But there was a complication. Sometimes the person you want to help cannot safely receive your specific kidney. That is where newer matching systems came in. A voucher scheme helped connect the dots, letting Hugh get his transplant close to home while Mark's donated kidney went to a different person who needed it too. Mark even had plans to bike from Wisconsin, and the whole process still kept moving without leaving Hugh stuck on distant timelines. Hugh received the transplant about 5 months later, and Mark donated in late 2020. What stays with me is how a single act of generosity turned into a chain reaction. Paired donation and kidney exchange programs are designed to work with the real constraints of the body, not against them. And the article notes that algorithm-based matching can increase access to transplants, potentially by about 20 to 30%. That kind of hope feels practical. It is not just about one kidney. It is about how we can widen the door for more people to step through. There are moments on the edge of the ocean when seconds matter, and what happens next can change a family forever. This story is a reminder that courage sometimes looks like steady hands and not letting go. In Santa Cruz, a 10-year-old boy named Nathaniel found himself in a powerful rip current. His father, Sumit Rai, said Nathaniel went under and after blacking out, he became unconscious. Rai understood how close it was to tragedy, even saying that another 2 or 3 seconds might have meant his son would not have made it. And then, in the middle of that dangerous pull, a teen lifeguard named Ryder did not release his grip. Rai described how Ryder held on, supporting Nathaniel the entire time, even as the current fought to separate them. When the rescue finally worked, Nathaniel was saved, and that outcome landed like quiet relief, with a lifetime of gratitude attached. Rai shared that Ryder's strength was not just physical, it was also the kind of resolve that is hard to describe unless you are the one watching someone else refuse to let go. He credited Ryder and expressed deep thanks, emphasizing how difficult it is in strong currents to stay connected long enough to matter. Today, the ocean still moves the way it always has, but the story leaves us with something solid to carry. Hope can be as practical as a steady lifeguard and a single decision to stay. When you hear the word twin pregnancy, you picture joy with a little extra complexity. But in this story, the complexity was extraordinary and the hope was steady. Carrie Zerbies and her husband were already parents of 3 when they learned they were expecting twins. The news came with careful concern because it was an ultra-rare mono-mono twin pregnancy. In this situation, the babies share a placenta and a single amniotic sac, and doctors warned that close monitoring would be essential. Carrie was placed on hospital bed rest, staying under observation so the team could watch for changes and protect every possible moment of growing time. As the pregnancy reached 30 weeks, the plan turned toward action. The twins were delivered, and from the start they needed immediate neonatal intensive care support. Fiona, in particular, faced a difficult first stretch of life and had to be intubated, but both girls received the kind of focused medical care that gives families something solid to hold on to. Weeks later, the day finally arrived when Fiona and Phoebe could go home healthy. Months became a bridge back to everyday life, and a year later they celebrated their first birthday. The miracle here is not just survival, but thriving. It is the way a carefully guided medical journey can lead to laughter at the table, small hands reaching out, and a future that feels real. As always, I have a wonderful tip for you to help with your mental reset and find a little more ease in your day. Today, let us talk about choosing how much bad news is enough for one day, so it does not spill into every hour of your life. Here is the idea. Bad news is real and it can matter, but your nervous system is not designed to take in every headline, every update, and every new worry all at once. So try this simple boundary. Pick a specific window for checking the news and then decide ahead of time when you are done. Maybe it is one short session in the morning and one later in the evening. Or maybe it is just one check after lunch. The point is not to ignore what is happening. The point is to choose your intake. When you notice yourself doom scrolling, pause and ask, what am I actually trying to understand or prepare for right now? If you cannot name the purpose, that is your cue to stop. Then redirect with something steady, like a walk, a glass of water, a quick tidy, or a conversation with someone safe. You can care and still protect your peace. One day at a time, you get to choose. Hey friends, we have made it to the end of this episode of 10 Better Minutes. Thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes and letting your attention land somewhere steadier. If today felt heavy or loud, I hope these stories left you with something quieter but real. The sense that people keep choosing decency and communities keep doing the small work of care, even when it does not make the headlines. If you want a fresh dose of that kind of perspective, you can follow or subscribe, and new episodes are posted every day. And if you have a good news story link or a local positive moment you think more people should see, please share it in the comments. This is Ian Rhodes with 10 Better Minutes. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.